Hi, sweethearts. Today for this reading, firstly, welcome. And secondly, of course, like, subscribe, and all of that. If this resonates with you, I would love you to join this also on Discord. I am this community. I am also posting the image on Discord so that you can see all of the cards and how they are laid out. And there will be a direct link for that in the description. I'm trying to do that with all of the readings now. And I think if they're a podcast reading, and I think I managed to do it with the previous readings as well. So there should be a link directly to that post in Discord. Anyways, sidetrack, all of that. So for this reading, I actually laid out most of the cards yesterday because I was going to be recording it yesterday. But I got severely distracted. So I couldn't really finish it. And that might actually tie into this collective and your original approach, because like it's literally laid out here. I can tell you straight away, this is a romance reading. Again, yes, I know. I don't choose this, okay? Well, sometimes I do. Sometimes I do choose what I want to read, like, or at least like what I wish to tap into. And I could be like, I would love to tap into something like that. That'd be so nice. But I don't decide what pops out. The collectives that I end up reading are the collectives that need it the most at that given time. Or perhaps it's just your energy that screams the loudest at that given time. But this is a love reading, and it is not similar, but I feel like there are similarities to the love reading that we had, that I published here yesterday. Like, there's lots of similarities to this one. I'm not saying it's the same collective. It might absolutely not be. In fact, in this collective, we see nothing about the healing aspect that we were focusing on yesterday. And I might actually be putting down some more cards here, because I'm unsure if I feel this is finished or not. And again, these feelings are tied to this collective. It is. And I am very sure that it is tied to your original approach to this situation. And I also want to say, your current energy holds lots of creative wants. It's not because of the cards I can say this. I can just say that I've tapped into the energy. So that exists here. It's highly distractive. But I'm still a little bit sick, guys. So like my nose is still a bit runny and stuffy, and my throat is still a bit sore. But that means I need to like also have like a piece of paper just to like wipe my nose, and not put it. And like I'm not going to put it anywhere close. I'm just reminding myself to not put it anywhere close to candle, because I like living. I do not want to burn to death. No, thank you. Okay. Okay, we're ready. So, gorgeous reading. Just going to say that. From beginning to end. This is gorgeous. Well, I don't know if it is the end. That's the thing. Like, that's one of the things that I think ties in here. I really feel that. Because I put down all the cards, but I still am unsure if I feel like I've finished it. So let's just jump right in. We are starting with Lenormand cards. I have put them down into a spread that I never use. Ever. I've never used this spread before, but I felt very called to put it like this. So, I did that. It looks gorgeous, by the way. It's like a square, like, one card for each corner and then one card in the middle. That was the original cards that I laid out here. And the first card is then the fox, which is tied to the skite, but also, is this called the choice? It's like a staircase for me, but it is a choice. It's a card of choice, and I'm also, for some reason, that isn't weird at all because it's the imagery on the card that does this. I'm hearing "Stairway to Heaven." You know that old classic rock song. Love it. Might hold relevance, might not. If it pops into my head, check it out if you feel called to it, during a reading. If this is your collective. If it resonates in any way or something. It's a good song still though, so check it out anyways. Okay. But yeah, so what we have here is a choice. And there's been some self-preservation. The fox is in Lenormand, the fox is often viewed a bit negatively. I don't actually do that. It's there in the energy, but nothing is positive or negative only. In Lenormand, though, the so-called rules say that some cards are. I still don't agree with that, so I don't think of it like that. Not a single card do I think of like that. Not one. Feel very passionate about this. Life is great, people. If you get too boxed into like black and white thinking, guess what you'll do? Stagnate. That's not fun. Ooh, yeah. Give me one sec. I just need to go and get like a clipper from my hair. Okay. All right. I am back. It's a bit not hot, but warmish hair today than it's been the last couple of days. It's been freezing. I've been like, how can this still technically be summer? I'm not feeling it. But today it has been. I even had the window open when I was sleeping. It was marvelous. But to imagine I moved from a country with summer and heat to this. Yeah, such is life. I don't know why I'm talking about this. It might have relevance. Like all of the things I say have some sort of relevance. Maybe it resonates with some of you guys. Maybe I'm just like literally quoting someone else's thoughts, or maybe it's more of like a general thing that is tied into this. Like, how did I move from that to this? But anyways, with the fox. Yes, it's a sneaky energy, but the fox is smart. The fox has self-preservation. The fox survives. And also, this is just my view of the fox because I really like them. I really like foxes. They are, I was going to say family oriented. Why? I also felt like, I'm unsure if I was supposed to say that for this reading. Like, okay, that thing might just be a general thing. And I might also be wrong, okay? Because I don't actually know that much about foxes, except I find them adorable, and I absolutely adore the Arctic fox. But anyways, into the reading again. Hi, I'm back. So, the skite is ominously placed kind of, in the middle. It is in the middle, but it is in the middle. I can't say kind of in the middle. It is in the middle. But it's kind of cutting the fox and the choice card away as options, sort of. Like it's cutting away those things. And now we are left with the other side of this square, which I found really beautiful. they're still kind of tied to it, but it's not. It showcases change. That's what I'm saying here. It's decisive choices being made that is leading to change, because the first card then on the other side, once we've cut away like the needing to choose on, not on behalf, but definitely guided by self-preservation and sneaking around a bit, but again, because self-preservation, being very smart about stuff. Like, I'm not saying don't be smart about stuff, but like this is it's not exactly being smart about stuff when you are in olfactuality, actually operating from fear, from anxiety, from the future could bring all of this disaster. So, with that said, what we have next to the fox, kind of then, is the chariot. No, not the chariot. Why did I say that? Well, you know what? I can say that because it kind of holds the same speed in it, this card. It's the, what is it called? The messenger? I think it's called the messenger. It's the first card of the Lenormand. Wait, I'm just gonna, wait, this is also in Danish. That won't help anyone. Unless you're Danish, of course. The rider. Yes, it helped me because I can read Danish. I can read both Danish and Norwegian. That sounds impressive to anyone who doesn't know that Norwegian and Danish looks more or less the same. But it does, people. Anyways, so this is the rider. But in this Lenormand, it is fun, it is amazing. It is a woman that is literally riding on a carousel horse. And then she also has this little like postal bag, you know, those very ancient ones that they, the messenger bags, right? They had way back when, who knows when. And she is holding a tiny little letter, because this one actually also speaks to communication. And below it, we have time. So many clocks ticking. So many clocks ticking. It's a beautiful card as well. But it is there to indicate being extremely aware of time. And I'm sensing of the fact that time is of the essence. That time moves and you want to move with it. You know, again, with the rider right above it. And they're connected. But the rider is also ish next to the fox. So again, it's about moving away from that very cautious, very, well, self-focused, but again, self-preservation. You're not doing this to be selfish. You're doing this to, you were doing whatever you were doing to be protecting yourself. You were protecting yourself. And the time aspect is also very much tied into the choices. So you really are feeling then that, and this is what made you make this massive decision, like this, just, okay, I have to be decisive here. This is important because, again, as I always say, the details in the story, of the story, has to fit for this to be your collective. But, as always, if you feel called to this reading, there might very, very well be a message in here that your soul or being or whatever you believe in is resonating with, is in need of hearing right now. That would be helpful for you. But time is of the essence. You have been feeling this collective. You are either seeing that options are starting to slip away, or you're just starting to feel the fact that the world moves and I want to move with it. But this is tied to a specific person. And again, this is a love reading, right? So this isn't about anything. This is very much a love reading. And right after this, at this point, I didn't know it was a love reading. At this point, I had no idea. But the cards that came out afterwards were 2 Lenormand cards as well. And again, they were cards that I have put in a really strange formation here. I've never put any cards in this formation before. And maybe I never will again. But it makes so much intuitive sense. Because after this, after the time is ticking and I want forward movement, what we have is the dices. So taking a chance. And then that is connected to the wishing well. So literally you are taking a chance on a wish that you want to have fulfilled. This is wish fulfillment, but you don't know. You do not know if you're going to be getting the result that you want with this. And yet you have decided bravely enough that you want to roll those dices. That is brave. Like, that is brave. Cutting away that which you know does not align with you anyways. And then also daring to take a chance on that which you do feel aligns with you. This person. That's gorgeous. That's brave. And as I say in all my love readings, at least, doesn't even matter if you end up with this person or not. It truly doesn't matter. If it's not this person, then the next one. If it's not this person, then someone better, someone that is more aligned with you. Lots of people go with the whole rejection is protection, and I do believe in that. But even more, I believe in the fact that whomever aligns with you, you too will align with. And if we do not align with those that we take a chance on, the experience is a stepping stone. The experience of doing this thing, of being brave, is in and of itself so positive, so healing, so self-confirming. Even if you're one of those who haven't dared to take a chance before because you are scared of rejection, standing in that rejection, if it comes, because it can. Again, I don't sugarcoat. Standing in that rejection proves to your nervous system, to your body, to your inner children, the shadows that I say we have to integrate and not banish. They will see that not only do we survive, we stand in our truth and we stand there authentically. That feels brave because it is brave. That feels fulfilling in and of itself because it is. So long as we do not also start tearing ourselves down, being all, oh, why not me? Why maybe someone else? Why, what is it with me? Like, blah, blah, blah. No, your focus is wrong. You were terrified of doing this thing and you did it. You were so brave. Who cares? It wasn't you because it didn't align. It's that simple. Okay? We're moving on. It's not important to your story because clearly they didn't want to be part of your story even. Don't give them importance in the story they didn't even want to be part of. It's for your own sake. For your own sake. Just saying. If you're going to write a story, choose to write it with characters that want to participate. Otherwise, that's going to be a hard book to write, or story, you know. But this collective, you're already doing this. Like, this collective, you are already, you've gotten to this point. Like, I'm going to roll the dices. I have no idea, but there is a wish at the end of this that I want, and that's them. I'm rolling those dices. And that is gorgeous. That is particularly gorgeous because then I brought out a tarot deck. And we only got 3 cards, and they are then literally aligned next to 3 of the Lenormand cards. So next to the clock cards, time, we have 2 of cups. So that's what this collective is feeling like time is running out on. That is this really in alignment with you emotionally. Partner, romantic partner. This is a romantic partner. It says the keywords here are companionship, mutual feelings, new partner, agreement, and in sync. You also got it upright. A loving, what does it say? A loving exchange. Yeah. And that's what you were feeling you might lose out on if you kept being stagnated by not being able to choose. I don't know if you had like plenty of things to choose from, but you clearly, at least this collective, you had the choice to either pursue this person or not pursue them, And I can't get ahead of myself because I also have some cards I want to like add in here, but I can't do it quite yet. We have to like do it step by step as it came out, because that's how it works. It's easiest for everyone. So yeah, that's part of the whole like, and this is essential. This is part of what you were feeling. This is also why I knew like, okay, this is a love reading. So next to the dices, there we have Page of Swords, and that one says, thirst for knowledge. Mental agility, this is also upright. Mental agility, quick-witted, curious, ideas, vigilant, guarded, communicative, think first, education, and fairness. But this is also the most useful energy. Like this is the energy of a child. This is a new adventure, and that's what you're rolling the dice on. You're rolling the dice on a new adventure and a new way of thinking. And you are collecting like, you are quick-witted. You got the fox to begin with. This collective, you are bright. You are bright, but you're rolling the dice here, but you're not. You're taking a chance. You're taking a chance in love and you're taking a chance on this person, but you're doing it in a way where you are still using your head, but in a I want to learn as much as possible kind of way. This is a new adventure and I need to gather as much information as possible. I want to be oh, the Pokemon song came to my mind. I want to be the very best. Maybe you guys are Pokemon fans, I don't know. But yeah, that's the energy. That's the energy. It's like collecting info to the Pokedex, basically. Oh, I love that. That's so cute. So you are still rolling the dice, just as, those kids in the Pokemon universe, going out, taking a chance at absolutely everything, running into battles, risking going into tall grass and never exiting that. Because you rage quit the game. Some of us might have done that. Some of us. And then right next to the wishing well, you got 2 of Wands. So that is starting this new adventure. Like all of it, you are really putting everything. We already got it with the Chariot. Like I can see that the rest here is just confirming what we already know, but you're putting everything into this. But 2 of Wands, you haven't started yet. You haven't actually taken an actual step. I need to say that. But that makes sense because you also, again, it was the Page of Swords. You are now at the phase where you have decided, this collective, you have decided, I am cutting out the other things, and I'm going to be taking a chance on this person, and I will do it relatively swiftly. It's a new adventure. Time is of the essence. I might be losing out on this chance if not. This love, if not. I'm going to be rolling the dice, but I'm also going to do it wisely. Ish. It's a new adventure. I need information. And then it's my wish, but again, like it's once, yeah. So like you are definitely like passion driven here. But it's a wish, of course it's going to be passion driven. And there's nothing wrong with being driven by your desires and your passions. Truly, it's about like still acting in accordance with your values. There's a difference there. Okay? You can still act on your desires. You can still act on your impulses. You can still act on, I'm going to say true impulses, because like some impulses you maybe shouldn't be acting too much in alignment with. But that's because they are, I'm going to use the term again, it's kind of fast food for your system. So like you needed something, like maybe it was late in the evening and you know that you said no more chocolate today at least. And then you're like, but I'm tired and it's late and my body really wants chocolate. I am not, here to pass judgment on anyone, because I literally have a half-eaten chocolate cake in the fridge, and I just opened the package and ate it straight from the tray with my mouth. I didn't even have cutlery, guys. Didn't even have cutlery. I just bit it off. Everything, bite by bite. I cannot judge anyone. There is no condemnment here, okay? Or condemnment, whatever, that word. So right next to your wish card, you had 2 of Wands. Here we have charting a course. Not started yet, but you are charting it with knowledge. And here we have the keywords: opportunity, visualization, discovery, get ready, future planning, considering options and decisions. You're not jumping in here blindly. Although it's so passion driven, you're actually charting this course out right. This is gorgeous. Once I had all of this, I was like, wow. Do I even need to put down any more cards? Like, yeah, of course I do, because like this is just the situation. And you might, want some guidance as well. There's a reason why these readings come to me, and it's not just so that I can tell your story, which you already know. Again, this should be resonating. Like, stuff should come to mind. I'm not here to put thoughts and conclusions in your head. Firstly, there's no conclusions you should draw from me. I give you advice, and this is advice. Okay, you take whatever fits and not the rest. So you need to use your discernment. That's my point. And also details have to fit for you to like be all, oh, this is my collective. Yes, I would love for it to be so, truly. And it might be so, but are you making it fit, these details? Or can you actually sense that this is fitting? And you don't have to, like, you can also be part of this specific collective if you haven't yet decided to cut it off. But then this reading might have found you because you are sitting there, tipping back and forth. Should I cut off my other choices and also the self-preservation thing and actually just charge forward? But with a plan. And then, if it resonates with you, then this might be your reading. But use discernment, okay? That's all I'm saying. So, when I brought out these tarot cards that I have just been reading from to you, and we've just been discussing and how they are connected to the Lenormand, there was one card that should not be there. It was in the completely wrong deck. And it even fell out with these cards. So, you have an extra tarot card that shouldn't be here. I love how I put that, actually. There's a reason why I put it like that. Take heed. because you got the Three of Cups upside down. And as I said, you know, just yesterday, in yesterday's reading, but I say this, I think actually a lot. When I get threes in a love reading, in more often than not, that comes with like third party stuff, but not always. In this one, I am feeling it though. But third party does not necessarily mean romance, okay? And I'm going to be reading this. So what it says is, I feel safer in groups of friends, colleagues, or with family, having light conversations, drinking or partying. And this might be it. Like, again, that fits with this clock, the time, you know? You might have reached a point in your life where you're feeling like, well, I can't expect to have this happy relationship that I actually so desire, but have never dared to roll a dice on. If I keep on feeling safer in, I was going to say what the group wants. So it's like group pressure, but it's most likely this is perceived group pressure and not so much actual group pressure. Sorry, my nose started running again. Just needed to dry it. No, wipe it. Yeah, whatever. I had a paper tissue thing, and I did something with that paper tissue. That's my point. But yeah, so group dynamic stuff, right? And then, to me, that does kind of resonate with the whole caring a lot about what other people think. It's a bit of a young energy. To care a lot about what other people think and to base your life around that, that's very young energy. But I'm not sensing that this needs to be a young collective. I mean, age is just a number, energy is energy, right? So you might feel like you're very young and then you're not. And then you might feel like you're very old. Like, I'm not talking internally, I'm talking like it's the energy that you are kind of emitting out into the world. Age doesn't define that energy, meaning age is also not a guarantee for having grown up completely. Just like for some reason, I felt like putting that in there. So that might be something for someone. I don't know. But anyways, so we also have friends, which again indicates it could simply be friends. Like, it could be that you have been prioritizing friends over everything. That has to do with like actual love, right? And then that could also be you've just been, if friends haven't been, if what I'm sensing here is if my friends do not approve of them, that's literally what I'm sensing here, then these might not be for me, this person. And that is actually smart. I am going to say that because in that first love phase, you are high on hormones and other happy stuff, brain chemicals, you know? You're high on it. Your brain is so not in the right place to make a good decision, which is again why you should be waiting. I just like, because I have been talking about like you should wait 2 years until you like even start considering popping the question of marriage specifically, because in that time frame then you have like gone through usually enough stuff, the brain stuff has settled down, you are yourself and you can properly see who it is that you have in front of you, and you've also been spending I'm assuming here exclusive romantic time with this person, so you also know how they react in different situations. You know how you guys affect each other, like your energy, how that turns out, that beautiful alchemy that pops up between you guys. In all actuality, you can see if this is healthy for you. But I just heard another one that was like, I'm not going to say you should now wait for this long, okay? Because this was specifically a study in India, from India, about some. India is extremely large, so I feel a bit like ignorant when I'm saying this fits the Indian culture. Yeah, but India is like really huge, really huge. They speak different languages and stuff as well in there. So, but it's still, it comes from India, and it was looking at arranged marriages because that's a thing, like a cultural thing in India, and it's quite accepted. And I'm just saying it because it's not so accepted in the West, and we do get slightly shocked when we hear about it, and we're like, I would never want that. Well, listen to me. Your free will when it comes to love, if you haven't actually healed, is an illusion. I am not joking here. That's an illusion. You are not falling for who it is that you want to fall for if you did not do some healing work. You are falling for your patterns. You're simply recognizing your patterns from home. You are already, what should I call that? That doesn't sound really mean. You are affected by how you grew up, okay? I'm not saying you're broken. No one's broken. And I'm not saying like you came from a horrible home then, because you might have come from an extremely loving home. Everything might have been extremely loving and amazing and whatnot, but it still affects you, okay? And I'm not saying that. So every choice that you make when you come straight from home and then go straight into love is going to be bad. Of course not. Firstly, I don't even think that that's a thing. You don't end up, well, it can be bad. Of course, there are relationships. But that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is just that we need to try and heal ourselves internally. Those trauma wounds, we want to heal them. Those shadows, we want to integrate them. So much more, actually. There's so much on this topic. But if you are to genuinely feel like, it's not genuinely feel either. Just trying to find a good way to say this, to put this, my thoughts. You are affected by your past until you heal it. But it's not the past in itself, because the past has happened. It's the wound that you carry. And unless you heal that properly, unless you integrate your shadows, then you will keep on reopening, re-traumatizing that wound, because you're trying to fill it with, again, fast food. That's what I call it. It's like fast food solutions. Stuff that gives you temporary fulfillment. So that can be addictions and stuff like that. Or you try and heal them by quite literally submerging yourself in the exact same situation. Oh, it looks differently. Different faces, different names. Exactly same game. This might be relevant for someone. I'm not sure. But I felt really cold to mention that in this reading. But anyways, so there this paper, it showcased that after 3 years, those arranged marriages, on average, not everyone, they were doing extremely well, not well, but they were doing well, but they were in this upward rise. And they were doing extremely well in comparison to most of the we fell in love and so we got married couples. Because at year 3, they were crossing in how well they were doing, in contentment and happiness, in peace and safety, and like everything that's good and everything that you want a relationship for. They were crossing in year 3. And the group that married for love, they were on a rapid decline. And it just continued. Because if it had started, of course it's going to continue unless you find a way to address it. But the reason that these specific ones then, like in general, were, I don't want to say failing, but just turning not healthy. Yeah, we're going to say that. The reason these were turning not so very healthy was because they got married too soon. Like they got married while they were still in that love bubble. They got married while they were still high on brain chemicals and hormones, and quite literally could not think properly. And then you can also add in, possibility of codependency, like possibility of the whole just literally reopening trauma wounds to try and heal them. Past dynamics that you're just trying to heal through a new dynamic, but you can't do it. You will never be able to do that because you need to first heal yourself. Yes, you have to. There will be aspects that if you've been going through stuff interpersonally that has been detrimental for you, then you need to heal at least some of it. I don't want to say, I'm not. Guys, I know these things because I have an interest in it. I've studied some of this, but I am not a professional psychologist, okay? I just very much love the mind and the nervous system. Just very much love it. But I also then don't want to be too decisive in the things that I say necessarily, because I don't want you guys to sit there with like a faulty understanding or like conviction that I hold the answer. And we've talked about this on Discord. Yes, we talked about this on Discord actually. Be discerning also with me, okay? Like do that. Feel if it feels right. Feel if it resonates, okay? And it might not resonate to your story, and then it won't resonate at all, perhaps, just be true to yourself, but also be truthfully true to yourself. Do not trick yourself, because that's the thing. But yeah, so they got married, and the whole they got married too soon. And so listening in to the opinions of your friends and family that knows you and that only wants you well, that can be so valuable in that phase. Listen to how they truthfully judge this person that you come home with. Literally bring them along on things almost as early as you can, I'm going to say. Because like if you are seriously dating for seriously settling down, then that might be smart. And then after, the person has gone and like your date is over, and then it wasn't even like a proper date, perhaps it was just like, oh, you want to hang out with me and my friends? Then you literally, after they leave, you're just like, you guys, you stay, you sit, and we're talking. And then, I don't know, hand them I don't like a piece of paper and be like, I need notes, guys. I need notes. Give me reviews. Like, pretend this is Amazon and you need to like write the best reviews because you get like 10 cents from a app thing. I don't know. It made sense to me. Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe this collective as well know that these sort of ads get 10 cents for your whatever it is that they want you to spend 30, 40 or an hour, a minute on isn't truly worth it. But we're moving on. Point here is, that's not stupid in and of itself, but for this collective, I am then specifically sensing that if it is friends, then the friends that you have been listening to are friends that perhaps does not truly align with the life that you wish to live now. And there's no shame in that. There's no shame in changing, growing and evolving. And it doesn't even mean that you don't, like, you can't be hanging out with these friends or whatnot, but maybe perhaps not base your life choices on those kind of friends. Like, if you look to them and you don't feel some sort of admiration. And I'm going to say, not for the physical things in their lives, but for them as a person. Unless you can look to them and feel like this, like admiration, then perhaps be a bit careful with basing your life on their choices, or not choices, but their influence, I suppose, their way of looking at a situation or a relationship in this case. I'm saying it for a reason, guys. And yeah, the reason I'm like internal, not so much the external, is because the external, that's a personal path. That's a personal path. And so whatever it is that they are doing might actually make you unhappy, because then you start living a life that isn't yours. If you start living in alignment with their choices and their whatnot, then you start living their life in accordance with their hopefully best approach to that best life. But that does not necessarily you can't necessarily copy that. There is a word I'm trying to remember here, but I can't. So it's probably not relevant. But there's like, you can't copy it, because unless it also aligns with your internal self, like the whole admiration thing that I'm talking about, then that way of living will not align with you. So if both does align, then sure, then you can try and see if, you can also copy some of the things that they've been doing. But to copy the physical things, at least first try and make sure that the internal things also align with you. It is raining so heavy so suddenly. It actually sounds really gorgeous. Okay. So, yeah, we had, and then we also had colleagues. So it can also be work, this third party situation. I'm using a bit of time on this, I can tell, but it's probably because it's important that it doesn't have to be romance. But yeah, it could also be colleagues, and then also work, workplace and whatnot, and sensing status actually as well under this colleagues thing. So it could also be something with status, or I don't know. It might have been difficult. It's possible that getting together with this person that you now feel time is starting to run out with would be causing some sort of issues with specifically your colleagues. I'm not 100% sure how that would work, but there are definitely, if this fits you, it will resonate anyways. You will know what I mean. Even if I don't, you will, and that's good. And then also with family. So again, it could be a family thing. And then there we also, have status, but then you can also have like internal drama or whatever. It's just, it could be something. Maybe they didn't vibe with your family, and then you took their advice, you followed it because they are your family and you trust them, right? But then maybe later on you might have also realized that, yes, but why would I do that? I'm like quite sure I wouldn't be listening to them when it comes to my choice of studies, for example. Like there's something, like there could be something that has to do with the whole like family things. I'm sensing you should have known better for a reason, but that does not mean you actually should have known better. We all do the best we can in, the situation that we are in, and with the tools that we have at any given point, and also the information and insight that we have at any given point. And now you have more knowledge and more information, more insight, quite likely. And so you're also choosing to act on it. That's lovely. That's brave. You could have chosen not to. I mean, we did deviate with the whole, like, some part of this collective might actually be at the whole choice part still. But this main collective made the choice. That's beautiful. But we also have, having light conversations, drinking or partying. So it's also, but this isn't third party energy per se. I would never call this third party energy. But for this one, it might be relevant. You simply were not ready. And it's relevant because of, the fox and other stuff. But I'm particularly looking at the fox when I'm saying this with the self-preservation, right? You might be one of those who actually feel extremely unsafe with emotional vulnerability. But for you to have all of this, like you really wanted that deep connection, that deep romantic partnership with mutual feelings, being in sync, being so close to someone else. But when it comes to actually doing that, you do not feel safe doing it because you've never felt safe doing it, and you will have needed to, or still need, to work on that. So it's not a third party situation per se. It is just a tendency of not going deep enough to have a deep, fulfilling relationship. And so quite likely the other relationships that you have had in your life have been extremely surface level. They might have felt very deep to you, okay? Because that was the love that you knew at the point when you were in that or those situations. And that was real for you then. But as I mentioned, we grow and we evolve, and so does our understanding of things. That's a good thing. That's a beautiful thing. You learn as you live. And you should live as long as you are alive, okay? As long as there is blood coursing through your veins, so long as you are breathing, use it. We only have so much time. And this collective, you have realized that, with the time card and stuff like that. And you've realized you want to use it, this time that you have been given this finite resource. Because it is a finite resource. You have to decide, what is it that I want to experience with my life through this lifetime. Even if you believe in reincarnation, you are never coming back again. This life, this body is yours, and it's the only one you're getting. Yeah, I know. Let that sink in for a while. While I drink, literally, I just needed to drink. So, being all mysterious again. Let that sink in for a while. No! Ugh. I was going to be like all slurpy, but I wasn't. Instead, I was all throwing some tea all over my cards. Ugh. Oh well, I deserve that. Okay, let's see though. The cards are fine. It's just tea. Now they smell gorgeous as well. Which is good. Anyways, so after this, I took out the romance deck. Let's see. And as I always say, with this deck, I like to have the book and read from it because it It really truly does add to it. But I also brought out, what's that called again? Wait, give me 1 second. Yeah, I can't say that. It's called Tarot of, let's say, Wand Magic. Let's say that. You can see what it is in Discord, okay? Like, honestly, I'm posting a picture. And if it is too risky and lewd, then I will add a sticker wherever that is needed. But it doesn't seem like we need that for this collective anyways. So, romantic tarot first. I didn't pull any cards from this. I just split it. That was it. Nothing more. And it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. I was asking how the universe was seeing this connection. But I also couldn't stop thinking about the thought that this is the intended actions of this collective. So, because of that combination, this collective, this is what you intend, this is what you want to do. And you do have that, rider energy in you here from the very beginning of. So you have it in you, to like do this thing. But the universe is also simultaneously saying, do it, just do it. Because again, like I also asked about like recommended. Or like, no, recommended is down below, but like how the universe was seeing it. And it's so gorgeous. You just got cards from the major arcana. The first one was, so sure this is the moon. Let's see how. Yep, the moon. I'm saying now because there's a massive moon on the card. It's in Paris. You can see the Eiffel Tower, and then there's a massive moon. And then this moon card is unique. I really love this. This might be my favorite moon card, actually. Perhaps, at least when it comes to like decks that talk about romance and whatnot. Because in this one, there is a man and a woman, and I don't know if they're like at a hotel or whatever. They're standing by a window, an open window, and the man is just standing behind her, and they look so happy, so content, so peaceful, and she's holding this tiny little puppy, and it just looks so cozy. So let's see what it says, because it's not like the typical moon card at all. The moon, the secret kiss. Tender and cruel is the fantasy that dips the tips of the arrows into the poison of illusion. Hiding is to no avail. Whims should be satisfied. Spells. Oh, one of the cards fell down. It was time. Wait. Time was falling down. Oh. Okay. I don't know if that means time is of the essence or stop being so focused on time. It's not of the essence. Just do the thing. But yeah, so this one is quite literally telling you guys, just do it. Just do it. Don't get stuck in illusions and fantasy, no matter how beautiful they are. Taste reality. And that taste will linger. It won't be fast food if you go for what you truly desire. It says whims should be satisfied. I don't see this as a whim. Not in this collective. And also, whims should be satisfied is simply saying, Are you even listening to your emotions? Or is it all head? Do you basically exist from like neck and up? You know? It's all cerebral. Or do you also let that playful side of you come out? Sometimes it's more than okay to tap into that. I'm going to say like beast side, you know, but I don't mean it as. I mean it as the child, actually. Play with life. Be curious about life. Be curious about yourself, your desires. They point you in a direction. And the last word was spells. That's the key word. That kind of defines it all. And it's true. That's like manifestation. We can have what we desire. I keep on saying, do not focus on like a specific endpoint. But again, as I also always say, what I mean is like a specific person. You can still have everything that you desire. Keep on working towards it. Keep on rolling your dice. And also decisively cut out what does not align with what it is that you desire. Use your desire as a compass. Learn to trust yourself. Trust your body. Trust your feelings. And when you do that, you will cast a spell on your life. You will attract what it is that aligns. And you will see rapid actual change. Well, I can't say how rapid change is. That will be different from person to person, but you can actually see really rapid change. At times it can be like this. So, you're literally being told your desires when it comes to this, for the right collective, follow it. It is your compass. Do it. Cast that spell on your life. And then the other card that you got was the Hierophant. Which is like, excuse me, but that's like a card of marriage. That's a card of marriage. Both like, this is what you want. Like, you want this officialized. You want this structured. You want this to be like your person. Now you want this to be your person. Hopefully forever. And that's beautiful. And the universe is backing you up here. Like, this could be your person. Maybe forever. But, you know, free will and all of that. And life changes and so do we. So, like, don't get too caught up on that specifically. But that's one of the things that you desire. But okay, let's read what it actually says from this deck. The Hierophant. The Prince of Faith. Sometimes you need to forgive. Spiritual peace quells passions and opens the door to intelligent love. And here it says self-control. You need to forgive yourself. You need to forgive yourself. This collective. Yeah. There is nothing here that is indicating. Because I haven't gotten a single card about this other person. So this is directly tied to the whole aspect of time and you being stuck before in not being able to make a choice or regretting the choice that you made because the choice that you made was ultimately simply for self-preservation's sake, as we talked about in the beginning, you know. And you were listening to and aligning yourself with, we're going to call it third-party energy, but we also have to remember, like, again, it doesn't have to be romance. But it can be, and it can also be not exiting the dating market. And again, with this one specifically, it could also simply be your fear of intimacy. But I also talked about with the moon card, you need to start to listening to your body, to trust it. Meaning this right collective, at least for some of you guys, you truly might not be trusting your body. Again, tying in with the whole well, if you're easily influenced, then you trust, then you do look to other external things to trust because you do not trust your own internal self, your own internal world. You don't trust your body, your emotions. But then, okay, with this one, it did also say self-control and intelligent love. Yeah, but I'm still feeling the same thing here. I'm still feeling the exact same thing here. Because you've already been very caught up. Yes, okay. You've been very caught up already, quite likely, in everything that's above your own shoulders. That's kind of where you've perhaps been living most of your life from. Because it makes sense, right? But again, back to the whole listening to other people. You don't actually do that because it makes sense. And the whole self-preservation. In some situations, yes, absolutely, we absolutely need self-preserving actions and decisions, to literally be preserving ourselves. But in most cases, that's just not what it is. In most cases, it is our inner child or shadow, our shadow self, recognizing a situation as something that we have seen or lived or whatnot before that was scary, that hurt us, and we are going to be defending ourselves now. When you truly love yourself, when you are truly doing shadow work, I mean, people might disagree with this, and that's completely okay. But these are my words. This is my conviction from the knowledge that I have currently. You truly love yourself when you start to understand that all of that self-sabotaging behavior, all of those sides of yourself that you wish to just carve out and toss into a fire, and then you will finally live your absolutely best life, when you realize all of them are there due to those sides loving you enough, loving you so much that they want to keep you safe, just as they did when they thread into your life. I've been talking about this with someone else as well, actually. Because it's important to know this. Otherwise, it is so easy to start shaming ourselves. It is so easy to just see the action and not see the wound that this action was trying to keep you safe from, and perhaps even trying to heal in some sort of, I'm going to call it again, fast food kind of way. Perhaps this is a vice for this, or just a very strong keyword, because I have no reading. I have said fast food this often, and I think. But that's self-love. It is learning to love your shadows. And so you love yourself because of your shadows and not in spite of them. Because you truly see why they were there. You truly see your shadows are so filled with love for you. And they are just trying to keep you safe and happy and actually truly get extremely basic human needs met For example, with the whole emotional intimacy, whatever, thing that we were mentioning earlier on. Well, not being comfortable with that, being scared away by that, that's a self-defense mechanism. That's an armor being put up because being emotional intimate wasn't safe or caused you harm emotionally as a child, perceived at least. And we keep these armors, we keep these tools with us until we realize that we are doing so. And we, I'm not going to say in every case, because again, I am not a professional. But with the knowledge that I have, for a lot of us, these things also do not, even if we see it, even if we can see our self-sabotaging behavior, even if we kind of also truly understand it, until we see why, what it is trying to achieve, and why this is an act of love towards yourself, from yourself. Until we start reaching that point, for many of us, no real healing happens. We don't, the self-sabotaging behavior keeps on emerging. It keeps on being the same thing that we repeat in our lives. Same story, different players. Over and over and over. And that is how we should be loving and therefore forgiving ourselves. Just give me 1 sec, okay? Okay, hi, I am back again. So what happened? Saying it because I feel like this is relevant to this collective for some reason. What happened is that my candle, the one that I had lit, I was so sure that it would last. Yes, there was only a little bit left, but I was so sure. I was so sure that it would last throughout this entire reading. I don't always light a new candle. I don't feel the need to do so. The way that I do stuff, at least. But I feel like this ties back to the whole time thing as well. It might also resonate for you guys in a different way. Like maybe you work with candles. Maybe you have a thing with candles. I don't know. But I also feel strongly with the whole like time aspect because I was so sure. It would work. It would pawn out just precisely. But because then I also, of course, then went and got a completely new candle, like started fresh. Who would have thought that with the whole like new partner and like moving on to something new and bright and whatnot, cutting out the old stuff that isn't aligning and whatnot because of time. Yeah, so this one, the old candle, I didn't know this. It had literally burned down to the very bottom, like the very bottom. There really was nothing more of this candle. And so I got a fresh one. And now this candle, because of me like gesticulating to get it out from the candlestick thing while it was still kind of hot. So I spilled some candle wax, whatever, in the bottom. And now this candle, new, fresh, and I brought the light, from this old candle, and I kind of ignited this new thing now. And now it's standing there so much more steady than all of the other previous candles because this one I put in directly after having taken out this thing. I'm not saying go straight into a new relationship, guys. Do that because the candles are telling you, no, never do that. If you can avoid it, don't do it. Do some healing work, okay? Like find yourself, like heal some of your wounds. Do not repeat your patterns, all of those beautiful stuff. No. What I'm feeling here is that it's kind of reminding me of the whole like with the zebra yesterday in yesterday's collective reading. Like it's a bit like special, the route that you've chosen and whatnot. But it's not about specialness. It's more that, again, don't sit there and blame yourself. You went through all of the things you went through, and you burned your candle down to the very end. There is love and admiration in that as well, you know? Yes, you were throwing kind of yourself out of the window because you didn't trust yourself, and there's probably there is reasons for that. Like it's always based on something. But this new thing is going to be more steady than anything else. And you wouldn't have been able to hold this new thing, if it hadn't been for whatever, truly whatever it was that you have been going through in your life, in your past. So self-acceptance, truthful self-acceptance, self-love and all of that, that is truly part of your shadow work, and an extremely essential one. That's what you need to focus on, this collective. That's what you want to focus on. That's your healing point. And then the last cards that I put out here was from the, what did we call it? Tarot of Wand Magic. Tarot of Wand Magic. That's what we called it. That's what we're going for. And also this one, it's quite unique in its interpretations of the cards. So the first thing we got here was Six of Chalices. You know, normally that is nostalgia and like, I was going to say it can be children even, and it can be, but it's more about the past, you know? But it can also be children. It can also be like bringing on from the past to the future. So, you know, like almost legacy thing, but not so much legacy as just bestowing what you know, like the things that I think we talked about in this reading. It might have been. I've been cutting this one off and whatnot and digressing so many times. I really don't know if it was this reading. Doesn't really matter. But, you know, with the whole like parents wanting to gift children both what they had and what they didn't have. That can also be part of Six of Chalices. But then we also had right after that. Oh yeah, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to read it first. Let's see here. Chalices 6. Yeah, memory. Oh, that's the cat musical thing. Da, 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 da. Find that one. If I mention songs and other cool stuff and it resonates with you, check it out. There might be something in it for you. So, memory. All alone in the moonlight. Sorry. Oh my god, it's also straight below the moon card. But you're not all alone in the moonlight. And I'm not sure that's how the text goes, but that's how I always sing it. Check it out, guys. Check out that song. So, I'm not reading the first keyword because then I'll start singing again. So, the magic of the parchment. So, a portrait reminds us of those who were only distant memories. It may revive desire for an ex and destroy blocks of the past. Yeah, I mean, that's basically what we've been saying here all night. Or like, it's not night for me either. But I don't know when you're listening to this, so maybe it is nighttime for you. But still, this is definitely connected to, you know. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you guys what this part was. Sorry. I'm still your ADHD reader for the evening. But yeah, no, this is actually, what was it again? What did I call this? I just told you guys. I'm very scatterbrained again. I'm sick, guys. Okay. This isn't spiritual. I'm just sick. But recommended approach from the universe or whichever higher power it is that you believe in. Yeah. So, again, we already know that this is someone from your past. A blast from the past. But yeah, you are definitely being encouraged here, as you were above in the moon card, actually, like right above it, to just destroy these blocks of the past. Follow your desires and stuff like that. So, after that, you got 7 of Pentacles. And that's actually a bit of a... This is how I see it, at least. You have to have patience with the 7 of Pentacles. It's getting there, but it's kind of, and there's a reason probably why I'm using this analogy. It's, for me, the 7 of Pentacles has the energy of a cat being extremely patient in their hunting technique, where they can just lay there completely still and they're ready in that pouncing position. And if you have ever played with a cat, but like not a kitten, we're talking about like a bit of like an adult cat that's still playful, you will definitely know what I'm saying here when I say, and then they just stay there. And you're like trying to get them to move because you're going to have a great time. You're playing together, right? But the cat is just in like ready state, not pouncing, just ready, just waiting for that perfect moment to pounce. Well, that's 7 of Pentacles to me. You have to have patience, okay? You're getting it, but you have to have patience. And you have to do the work, of course. But this ties beautifully in with the 2 of Wands as well. Like, we're just like tying up everything, basically. But let's read as well. So this was 7 of Pentacles. Let's see. Tiredness. The magic of the 7 knots. A love cannot remain pure and precious over time unless you learn how to give energy to your partner. Okay, wait, I want to read that again because I feel this also ties in with the whole 3 of Cups that we had previously with the whole third party energy and also lack of emotional intimacy. So again, these are the like tips and tricks from the universe, which approach you should be taking that could quite likely be aligning you with this person that you want. It's your wish fulfillment. Listen. As Navi says. You think it is Navi. It's Navi. It's like from the start of that game. The one who says, hey, listen. Constantly. Oh my god. So much. So often. How can you not mute that? Anywho, back to this. What were we reading again? 7. Yeah, tiredness. So, the magic of the 7 knots. A love cannot remain pure and precious over time unless you learn how to give energy to your partner. You have to give to keep the whole thing going. This makes me also feel like perhaps that makes so much sense. This collective, this right collective, the reason this choice card was standing there is it precisely that you never actually made a choice. It just kept lingering, kind of in your energy. No choice was made, but you just didn't give any energy. Or not the proper energy, or not the proper amount of energy. Like something was misaligning her energy-wise. And so it kind of just naturally fell apart, as things do, when we no longer. It's not even about prioritizing. It is about prioritizing, but I wouldn't use that word specifically because then it sounds like a chore. And this isn't a chore, this is a choice. A choice that you want to make. And this collective, you do want to make it. But you do need to work on this Three of Cups energy thing, okay? So third party and emotional intimacy. There's something there. And self-forgiveness. Integrate your shadows. Love yourself because of your shadows, not in spite of them. Do not throw your shadows on a bonfire and dance merrily afterwards. That's rude. Okay. It's really rude. Don't do that towards yourself. So after that, we have Seven of Swords. Yeah. This is about the usual energy with this one is a bit sneakily, like the behavior. Again, back to the fox. You're not doing it to be rude or mean or anything. And in some cases, that's the best approach you can. That could be the most healthy approach. In most cases, it is not. But in some cases, it truly might be. It's like almost gathering what's left and like count your losses. Sort of. And that's not unhealthy. But in this card, it doesn't look very good. But it's not bad in and of itself, okay? Truthfully, this whole reading is actually really gorgeous. So anyways, Seven of Swords. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's two people sitting in a bed. And they are like... Oh, I've played this scene. Ha! Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. I also do acting. Okay. But like... Okay, two people are sitting in a bed and they are like back to back and they're just like looking out towards nothing, being really like resigned, sort of. There's sadness here. There's disconnection here in this one. Yeah, it's not a positive card, but remember this: the fox energy is what you are moving away from. You're like cutting it out. It's not the fox energy entirely in and of itself. It's just you're making a decisive choice. I'm not doing that anymore. So what is that said in Seven of Swords? Tasting. Let's see. The magic of the 7 red tulips. Only the beginning is not enough. But it is a beginning. Not every seed can ripen? Yeah, not every seed can ripen in a day. This is why you must persevere. Oh my god! This is the exact same thing that I said about 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, this is aligning, guys. Be the cat. Yes. The cat doing catly stuff and like getting what they want in the end, but being very patient while you're playing with them for 5 to 10 minutes and they didn't move. And you're like, are you gonna move? And the cat's like, well, is the time right? Don't move too. Don't get too stuck in that, because that's the thing, remember this. You also had the time card. Yes, like lay the groundwork, but actually do the thing, because that's also been told here in the entire reading. It's wise, it's good, lay the groundwork, but do the thing, follow your desire. Like, I'm pointing at the moon card and I like tapping it because you need to know this, okay? Just do it after you've done some groundwork, but then just do it. Okay. Yeah, because again, like with the tasting, yes, you've had a taste of it, because this is like someone that, oh my god, that's literally what in the Six of Chalices. You'll see. It's like, it's not lewd or anything. Okay, it's just someone kissing. But still, It's in the mirror. You want to see in the mirror. Or maybe it's a portrait. Oh yeah, it's a portrait. It's not a mirror. Oh, okay. Oh, there are two birds there. We were talking about lovebirds in yesterday's reading, I think. So you might be inclined to go and watch it, because I've been like, there are stuff there. I'm not saying it's the same collective, but there are stuffs there that seems to be also perhaps connecting with the collective of yesterday. Perhaps. So just check it out if you feel called to it. But again, like, yeah, the taste is not enough, but it is a beginning, you know? It really is a beginning. And then what you got, because then I just split the deck. What you got was Temperance from the Major Arcana. So, you know, that's balance. That's getting into balance and whatnot. And then you also got Two of Pentacles, which is also balance. So, like, you're really... But again, like, no, I didn't say this, so I'm saying it now. Two of Pentacles is also balance. But it's balance that kind of... It demands work, you know? I feel like it's more gaining that internal balance and like internal union and all of that, sort of, when it comes to the Temperance card. That's how I feel around it. But the Pentacles is not, because it's, you know, practical world. Like, the Pentacle energy is the real, practical, physical, material world around you. So there is some major balancing work here. So the internal with the Temperance, what I'm feeling here is the self work, you know, the healing work, the forgiving yourself. Yeah. Finding peace and internal balance. But for you, it's also about figuring out the more physical realm or aspect, or whatever you want to call it, of balancing this into your life. Yeah. Okay, now that I have sensed and felt and whatnot, which you also need to do, by the way, this collective, you're supposed to be following your senses and feelings and desires and all of that. Remember the moon card. Do not forget the moon. But yeah, you should also be doing that. So you're welcome. Now I have been a great example. I am joking most of the time, just so you guys know. Like, everything I say, I mean, but if I can joke, I will joke. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just read Two of Pentacles first. For some reason, I felt called to do that. So, Two of Pentacles. Embarrassment. Oh no! That's not good. Don't be embarrassed. Okay, so the magic of the verbena? What is that? I think it's a plant, guys, because there's some plant being burned, or like incense or something in this image. Oh, there's a star. There's a star there in the window. Oh, that's so cool. And then you have like a moon in the Parisian window. And then you have a star in this. What was it? What was it? Verbena window? Anyways, it's a star. It looks like a star. But it's amazing. I love stars. So, it's like following your northern star, okay? Despite this embarrassment. Let me just read it though. The magic of the verbena, embarrassment, uncertainty, unease, and the fear of getting involved must be overcome. Yeah, this is highly specific. And it is tied straight back to the whole, like, there's a reason then. Because I didn't read that before I was heading back to the moon card and, like, being all gushy about the moon card. It's tied straight back to it. You have to overcome this. Forgiveness and all of that. You have to start integrating your shadows. It's self-healing, okay? You need to do that. This is the universe telling you all of these beautiful steps. and they probably sound so extremely scary to you, or like you're facing a huge risk in some sort of way, because again, the dices, this already feels like that to you. So again, it would resonate. I'm not telling you how to feel. It's like this resonates already for the right collective. But then we have the Temperance card. So again, major arcana. Let's see here. Where are you at? Temperance. Temperino. Let's see. Like, truthfully, where have you? There you are. Okay. Yay. Temperance. Discontent. No! That's not nice. Okay. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not a nice feeling to be in. Discontent. So, filter of love. Friendly but cool relations to be warmed up with the magic of plants. The filter of love sparks a slumbering desire and restores harmony to the relationship. Friendly but cool relations to be warmed up with the magic of plants. Oh yeah, she has literally placed plants. Strategically? Why can't I speak? Like, my words. My words, guys. My thoughts is one thing, but my words are coming out muddled and... What? Okay, you got an extra card, guys. An extra card pad. You're welcome. Okay, nice. But yeah, so again, it's with this Temperance card and like the embarrassment and all of the other things that we've gotten with this specific deck, just do it. Just do it. It's scary. Time has been affecting this. You are very aware of that. This right collective, you are very aware of it. And it is actually something that you are regretting, the time that has passed, the choices that have been made, all of that. You feel regret. But the extra card that you got, surprise card, was 7 of Wands. So 7 of Wands is also perseverance. That's also very much perseverance. I just want to read this. Let's see. Pentacles, Wands. Yeah, it doesn't say that here though. This is really beautiful. Because again, it was hidden underneath where we just talked about with the Temperance, overcome all of these things. Like the relationship as it is now might have cooled, and you might not feel sure how to take further steps with this thing, because you're thinking about this person, but you haven't actually done any steps. That's what we've been saying this entire time. You feel all of this, but you haven't actually done anything quite yet. You haven't put any plan into action because you are making a plan. But the universe is also telling you, just do it. Yes, do the groundwork, but then just do it. And overcome and forgive and all of that. And then now I want to finish off the reading because this is beautiful. This is a beautiful energy to finish it all off with. 7 of Wands. Whispering. The magic of the lizard. Doubts and suspicions dissolve in the sunlight. Clarity illuminates feelings and situations. Once you've done this thing, again, I am not telling you how it ends. I wouldn't do that unless I feel called to do so. I do not feel called to do so in this reading. If this really resonates with you, of course I can check. Like in a personal reading, I can do that. And I do it in collective readings as well. But in this one specifically, oh my God, my throat. It's blocking up. I am not supposed to in this one. God damn. I have a cold. Not everything is spiritual. And that's why it's clogging up. Like, it's really clogging up. Right? Like, it suddenly felt like I had a big or small stone just existing in my throat. Highly uncomfortable. It's still there. Anywho, yeah. I'm not telling you how it will end with this person, okay? Right, collective? That's not what I'm doing. Not in this reading. What I am telling you is that overcoming and doing the thing, putting the plan into action is what you are recommended to be doing. And we did deviate about this. If not this one, then the next. If not this one, then someone better. Someone who aligns better with you. And you will get everything. I think. Well, I'm not saying like, well, and that might not be true, because I really genuinely think so. But again, I can hear the words resonating in my ear and head from yesterday's collective. I don't know, but I'm not saying yesterday's collective is this collective as well. I don't feel it is, but I feel some of you fit into both of these collectives. Some of you. Some of you who resonate with this one will resonate with yesterday's collective. And I forget the collective readings after I've read them. After this is done, I forget what it is that I have been talking about, the details and all of that. I actually forget it most of the time. And I do not recall it at some point unless there's something in the reading, of course, that brings it to mind. But then if that happens, then for some of you at least, that will be a so-called, coincidence and signs and synchronicity and whatnot. So if you then feel like you're being pulled towards checking out any of those then mentioned previous collectives, do it. Because truthfully, they might hold something that's relevant for you and your soul in this very moment. But anyways, enough deviations. I deviate a lot. You guys are used to it anyways. In this one, you will dissolve all the doubts and all of the suspicion. You will heal. And by doing so, you will start aligning with the energy of what it is that you wish to achieve with this person. So you will achieve it. Even if you align with the energy of what you wish to achieve with this person, you have to remember free will and all of that, yes, but parts of this person, particularly their energy, might have mostly existed in your head. I'm saying this for a reason. For some of you, this will resonate, either as general or because of collective. And that means when you resonate with the energy that you are trying to resonate with, because you're trying to resonate with this person, So you've done the healing work and you've done like whatnot. But then they don't resonate with you. Because in truth, they weren't that energy. And I'm not saying they were less than that energy. I'm just saying their energy might have been different. And that's completely fine. Because along this road then, you learned what energy you wanted to align with. And you aligned yourself with that energy. So you will be attracting exactly what it is that aligns with you, truthfully. But with all of that said, I'm just going to say there is a lot of like hints and like direct. Uh, I'm just going to say it like it's directly referencing going well with like an ex or a past person, someone that you didn't truly disconnect with. There's like lots of things saying that here. Okay. I'm not saying how it will end. I'm just saying there are some cards here. And they are saying some stuff. I don't feel like we need to pull anything more, but I've had this lingering feeling that I want to give you something extra. It's just that I can't understand what it is with this collective. So what I'm truly feeling here is that this collective, I am not done with your energy. I think you will be definitely revisiting me again, one way or another. Because I've been trying, I've been looking around, not just on the cards. I've also been like, should I be pulling some stars? Like, what should I be doing here? But there's nothing. You've gotten all of the guiding that you need, I think. But I still feel like I want to give you something. Okay, you know what? I'm pulling a Jane Austen. You're getting a Jane Austen. They're beautiful cards. So, I have no idea what this will bring forth, and I don't actually use it that much in like love readings at all. But they can be good for that. But then, Jane Austen makes sense to use in love readings. I know that, but I just don't usually do it for some reason. I usually do it with like self-insight and stuff like that. But okay, let's see. Give me, or not me, give this collective one Jane Austen card, please, so that, some tips or tricks or like whatever you want to add to it. I really feel like something should be added here. Ooh, something got added. Okay, wait, I just want to go through it, La, la, la. Yeah, no, it's this one. Okay, so you got one card. And what it says is hypersensitive. It's beautiful, by the way. It's really good. All of the Jane Austen Oracle deck cards are. But hypersensitive. So, within you is a space for recollection, which could be very useful to your sensitive soul. Take advantage of this opportunity to rediscover calmness and serenity. So, quite literally, what we've been talking about with like the Temperance and Pentacles. Quite literally. I don't feel called to read this. I feel like this was just confirming, yeah, you had all the cards. You're just feeling this nervous energy because you guys are feeling this nervous energy. I mean, you know that when you roll those dice, things are changing, okay? Things are changing. That's good. Because that's what you want. You want to change. And it's beautiful, all of the things that you end up with her. I feel. I'm looking at all of the aspects that you get to heal and whatnot, and that is gorgeous. It's truly gorgeous. So, this has been your reading, today's collective. And I hope you found some peace in this, some strength, okay? Because this is so gorgeous. Yeah. Okay, I am ending this reading now. As I said in the beginning, remember, like, subscribe, Leave a comment if you feel called to do so. And I appreciate you all so much. I'm so grateful that I get to tap into your energy. It doesn't matter what the reading says. It doesn't matter the situations of your stuff. Like, I feel so grateful that I can help in this manner. So thank you guys. Mwah!